Hello, I'm Jonathan Chu, founder of the PivotLab Podcast. In today's episode, I'm joined by my co-host Nancie as we speak with a remarkable young fashion designer, Sebastian Chong, founder of the label 11pm. Sebastian's story is a beautiful reminder that you don't need to wait until you're older to know who you are. At just 5, he was already designing dresses out of plastic bags for his Barbie dolls. And today, he is turning that childhood passion into a real growing fashion brand. In this conversation, we talk about confidence, creativity, chosen family, and the journey of becoming who you really are, even when it feels like the world doesn't quite get you yet. If you have ever felt different, or if you're searching for the courage to live your truth and pursue your craft, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Sebastian, really happy to have you here in this session. So we know that your journey is very different from the regular graduate, right? Instead of just taking up a full-time job, right, you decided to start your own brand, 11pm. So how about we start there, right? Could you tell us what 11pm is all about and what's the story or meaning behind it?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. So basically, 11pm is all about finding myself or how I found myself through nightlife, like clubbing, night events, concerts and stuff. So through these nightlife events, I really found myself and I was really inspired by the people around me at that point on how they were dressing up, how they were expressing themselves through fashion and just having fun. So the name 11pm actually comes from me, which is my birthday is on the 11th November, so 11/11. And PM means nightlife. So it kind of just makes sense that it's called 11pm. And I'm really happy with the things that I've done to this date. It is a really, really new brand. It's really fresh, it's just released. We just had our announcement a few weeks ago and I've been getting a lot of love from it. So
Awesome.
really excited about it.
Awesome. So when you
Nice.
launched 11pm, how did you go about launching it?
It was actually for my final semester. So we
Okay.
had an assignment where we had to kind of create a brand for our FYP since we had to produce a collection of 7 looks. So I just decided why not just kill 2 birds with one stone and really take advantage of this moment and build something with the help of my lecturers, my course mates, everyone around me giving me feedback and honest opinions. So with their help, I was able to have this sort of foundation of a brand. Yeah.
Nice. And has being a fashion designer always something that you knew you wanted to do since you were young?
Literally, fashion is the only thing I know.
Okay.
It's my
Okay.
whole life. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. That's the only
So
thing I
yeah,
see
how
too.
yeah, how about you take us back to that moment, that one special moment where you're like, yep, this is it.
Okay, so this is the story that I've been telling my whole life.
Okay.
So it basically started out with me discovering what a Barbie was. I was at a random Mr. DIY. I still remember the layout of the store. I was at Mr. DIY. I saw a fake Barbie, the cheap ones.
Yeah.
I was just really mesmerized, captivated by it because she had a big pink ball gown, princess dress. And I told my mom I wanted it. I think my parents hesitated at first. Then they were like, well, what's the harm in getting like a toy for him? He'll probably grow out of it. And I remember my grandma being not very happy. She was like, why did you buy a Barbie for a boy?
A boy.
And then my parents were like, they'll probably grow out of it. He'll probably be sick of it.
Little
in
did they
a week.
know that
Little
was
did they
just the
know.
beginning.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So they thought it was a phase, and there were distant relatives or friends of my parents that would come over to our house, and they would be like, "Oh, why did you buy a Barbie for your son?" Then they said
Why
I think
not?
they were kind of he'll probably grow out of it. But when the Barbie stuck with me for longer than what they thought. It kind of became quite clear, and they started asking me questions like, "Oh, what do you want to do in the future? Like, oh, what do you like right now? Like, what's your interest? What's your hobby?" At that point, it was the thing I remember saying was I wanted to be either a hairstylist or a wedding gown designer, which is oddly specific. I think it came from, the Barbies having the big dresses, the big sparkly dresses. Yeah. And it also came from, no, and I also said I wanted to be a makeup artist. And I think all of these sort of tie into the Barbie because you get like the hair play, you get to take markers and like draw stuff on the face and like,
Go crazy
yeah,
with it, right?
my Barbies did not have a good life. Yeah. Poor girls. I think when I was around 7, my aunt actually bought me a Barbie for my birthday. And I was really happy because finally someone you know, someone gets
Took
it.
notice.
Sorry?
Someone took notice of your interest.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think when I was with my first or second Barbie, I started making clothes actually. I used plastic bags, I used like torn up balloons or even just tape or fabric with string. I would make anything. I had a specific like silhouette. It would be a tight fitted bodice with a flowy dress. That was made with plastic bags where I would cut a corner of the bag, I would slide the Barbie through it, and I would just tape however I see fit. Yeah. And that slowly changed into, me drawing big puffy dresses, any type of gown, or even when I went to weddings, actually, I went to a few wedding dinners. I saw the dresses and I just was like, okay, I'm gonna make something like that. So I went back and just started doing it.
Nice.
So how do you get your inspiration? Or where do you get your inspiration from?
For now, like in the present day, my inspiration comes from seeing what brands are doing and learning from them, as well as I take a lot of inspiration from film, pop culture, especially Pinterest.
Mm.
Yeah, Pinterest is, I would say, my main boiling pot of inspiration. Or I would just see a random piece of fabric or like a random poster or like trash on the floor. I would get inspired by it.
So what was
Just
your
from
most memorable inspiration?
most memorable, in what sense, honestly? Because there's like,
I mean, when you get that inspiration, you got excited and you cannot forget about it. It's something that you're also impressed by it, you know? Like, wow, I
I
can
think
think of that.
I think it's corsetry and gowns. I think that was the focal point of me falling in love with fashion and my inspiration. From when I was young until this point, actually, I'm still in love with gowns and big
Right.
things, sparkly things.
So it
Yeah.
has to be things that are dramatic, would you say? Like the designs that you make, they're just dramatic.
Yeah, I'm an attention seeker, actually. Yeah, I love attention. So I think a lot of my designs base based from me is drama, height, um, volume, shine, shimmer, anything that
Right.
catches people's attention, I will love.
I think
I
what's
am not
special.
ashamed of it.
Good. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
you shouldn't be.
Yeah, it shouldn't
Yeah.
be. What I enjoy learning about, as we got to understand and learn about your story, what I loved a lot is that you are like, how do you say, unashamedly you, and you embrace that completely. And I think not a lot of young people have found that part of them that they go like, yeah, this is me and I love every part of it.
Yeah,
And that makes you special.
that's true.
It's
Yeah, I'm actually quite fortunate with the support system I have going on, which is my parents, my siblings, and my friends and family all around me. They've been really supportive since I was young when they discovered that I had this passion. They always just said, go for it, go for it. And they always give me critical feedback when I show them new stuff, like saying, okay, maybe like this is too arts and craft. Maybe you can do better. So it really gave me a drive to just do the best I can with like resources around me. And unfortunately, I do agree that, a lot of people, especially around my age, they don't really get that support system. So what I like to say is find your chosen family, like choose your own
Tribe.
community, choose your own friends, that will support you no matter what. They will always be truthful to you in giving feedback. They're not rooting for your downfall. They're always bringing you up. That is really important. And that's what I found during high school when I was still kind of like figuring out what I wanted and figuring myself out. Yeah, it really is very important for anyone who, as much as it sucks, don't have the family support that they need.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you brought that up. How about we go to that direction and talk a little bit about how did you choose the non-family support, right? Your chosen family in that sense, right? What was the process like? Did you have a list of criteria that you needed to be checked before you can welcome them as part of your chosen family?
Well, when my experience was quite smooth because it just happened so naturally, I wasn't even looking for it. In probably my first year of high school, I was always like the sucking up to people type. I'd be like, oh, this is the popular group. I'm gonna go, whoa, I'm gonna go suck up to them. Hopefully they want me. If it doesn't work, I just move on to the second most popular group, you know? And when I was in the second year, actually a friend from primary school just transferred to my school and we literally just clicked. Like it was like peanut butter and jelly. And it's been like that since since Form 2 until now, actually. We're just like, yeah. And then it slowly grew like our friendship actually like started to grow and became a friend group instead. So now I always have this group of people supporting me. And through their support, I actually found myself and became more confident with who I was. It wasn't easy. It was a lot of faking it till you make it type stuff. I always had to be like, delusional first, then it will happen. You gotta manifest it. I think it was until probably like Form 3 or Form 4, I started to actually be confident with who I am. Like I didn't really give any thought to what other people thought of me because it's like they're the so why do they care? So through that I actually became quite popular in school. Not gonna like talk good about myself, but yeah, confidence really does do a lot for someone, especially in high school. So I was like popular with the kids, with the juniors, not so much the seniors because the seniors really didn't care. Popular with the juniors, people my age. And in the end of high school, I actually became quite popular with the teachers as well. Because now instead of sucking up to the popular kids, I would suck up to the teachers.
Oh,
So confidence really like just gave me a boost of strength in whatever I wanted to do.
and was that the same was that the same?
Now, university is different. University, people will talk a lot more than high schoolers. But for me, so I was also quite fortunate. Let's just say my whole life has been fortunate. I found people um that I connected with from my intake. And because of my experience, my previous sewing experiences, I've also built connections with my seniors as well.
In college?
Yeah, in college, when they didn't know how to do this, they would usually come find me. And because I would always stay back in school until super late, they will always just come to me with questions instead of the lecturers because the lecturers weren't there at that point. So from helping them rushing their assignments for like finals and whatnot, we built really close relationships with each other. And I'm quite fortunate with that as well.
The thread throughout it all is you were just you, right? And you attracted the people who are accepting of you. And that's how it just went from one place to the other, right?
And I
Yeah.
think like what's different about you is that you had the self-confidence at a very early age. Like I was just reflecting my students and you. I feel like a lot of my students have very low self-esteem and they are very conscious of how people will look at them. Whereas for you, you recognize it at a very early age. And so that kind of propel you to just embrace yourself fully. And that was your strength. And that led you to so many places and so many people. Right? So yeah. Would you attribute it to people or like what did you do to build that confidence? Or is it because I know just now you mentioned about you have your family and your chosen family that helped a lot. But was there any other things that you recognize or realize when was the shift from not knowing yourself and then suddenly now I know myself? What changed? Like what triggered that shift from not knowing to being confident? See if you can help people who have no confidence your age and help them to gain that confidence that you have.
Uh, okay, there's actually an answer, but I don't think I am able to share it. But I will think of another answer
Okay,
because
take
it's
your time
actually
to think.
like I just don't think I'm comfortable saying what I want to say really badly. I think it really just has to be like
Bullet.
what's the saying? Bite the
Bite
bullet.
the bullet.
I think it really has to just be a bite the bullet situation where you just kind of like, it's hard, but you just got to do it and just having fun, I guess. I know it's like really vague. Everyone just saying, oh, have fun, don't care about what people think. But it's actually just, you have to talk to yourself a lot. You have to just be happy with yourself in general. People talk, but you have to just not let the talking affect who you are, affect how you see yourself. It really is difficult because, at certain points in my life, I'm still going through this experience. It's never perfect. You will always doubt yourself. You always talk down on yourself no matter what. Even big designers from big fashion houses, they always will doubt themselves.
Mm.
It's inevitable. It's a human experience. You
Yep.
just gotta find a way to minimize it. I found that in college, attending therapy is actually very helpful, where you get to rearrange your thoughts with the help of someone, especially someone who is trusted in this field. So to any young people, if you can afford it or if you can find, I'm pretty sure there are free resources. I forgot the name of one that I heard of recently. But if you go online, you can find counseling resources and they will be glad to help you out if you need it. If not, just find friends that you trust and you think are trustworthy, like, who you can pour your soul, pour whatever you want to say to them, and they will not judge you one bit. It's quite hard to find people like these in this time and age, but just gotta see. You have to be observant with what people talk about around you, I guess. Make sure that no one's talking about what your secrets, your deepest fears, or whatever. Make sure they're not spreading it because people like to pick on other people who are weak to make themselves feel superior, to make themselves feel better. I've been, I don't want to say victim because it sounds like, oh, pity me. I've been a frequent experiencer where, I trusted this person, but they ended up just spreading what I was talking to them about. And that really hurt me. It brought me down. Just gonna be whatever people talk about you, just make sure you feel good about you because it's your life. It's not other people's life. You live your life to be happy.
So
And
again, how do you
that's
make that
all.
shift?
Sorry, what shift? That shift. Okay. Actually, I have no idea how I made that shift
No,
because
as in like
sometimes
now that shift that it's not about the one that you were trying to say but then you cannot disclose, but this shift of like when people say bad things about you and then like go and spread the stories that you've told someone that you trusted. So then when you were hurt, how do you get out of that hole?
the way I process these kind of things is sort of like, okay, you've made one mistake. Take this as a lesson. I found that it helps a lot that you just view your mistakes as lessons and valuable lessons that you do not take granted of. All these bad things that happen to you happen for a reason. The universe has many, many things going on for you, you know. I'm not personally very, what's the word where you pray a lot?
Religious?
Religious.
Spiritual?
Yes, I'm not personally very religious. I'm just spiritual. I believe in things, but not in what people say they are, you know? So having your own mindset of what the greater being is, whatever you want to imagine. It could be, Ariana Grande or like someone. It could be anyone, or it could be, who knows, a big tortoise in the universe. Have your own belief system. You don't have to like follow a religion if it doesn't speak to you. Having that and just telling yourself that someone out there is looking over you and this is a experience that you have to go through for you to grow and to be a better person really helps for me. Yeah. So I encourage people to actually try this thinking. Yeah.
So far, what we have talked about, we have spoken about it's important for you to find your own chosen family who will support you, be there for you, cheer you on no matter what happens. And then number two, knowing that there's a higher being watching out for you does help. And number three is just focus on doing you in that sense, right? There'll be people who may say things about you, right? But that's the reason why you have your chosen family, right? And keep being you. So these are the three things that help build your confidence to what it is like today. Yeah. So going back to your journey, right, as a fashion designer, I know your parents halfway through, did they actually like, all right, okay, he's going to go down that path and so be it, right? We're just going to support him. Or did you need to convince them that, you know what, I'm going to do fashion design for my university?
And there was actually no convincing in this whole journey, actually, which is quite surprising now that I think about it. I didn't really have to convince them. They kind of have to convince me to,
Okay.
Wow.
to like just actually do this thing as your career. Well, I think I sort of convinced them in not speaking, but like actually just showing without any intention of convincing, if it makes sense.
Mm.
I remember I was 12, um, and there was a sewing class promotion going on in a mall, and then we happened to walk past it, and then my mom actually decided to stop and have a look, and they had a demo where you could make a small tissue pouch using the sewing machine. And that was my first time actually using a sewing machine. However, when I actually like went to use it to make that small demo thing, it was very natural to me from my mom's point of view. It looked like I've been doing this for many, many years. Like I knew like how to do it. I knew when to stop. I knew what the next step was. I think it came from watching a lot of YouTube videos of people sewing and just being observant of, it kind of became second nature to me. Yeah. I think that was when it really just solidified that I needed to take this class and this is what's going to happen to me in the future. So my mom, after UPSR, which was a long time ago, uh,
Yes.
uh my parents, they enrolled me to this class. It's called Pusat Craft Tangan Apple. Yeah. This sewing course actually took about like 3 years to completely finish and get my certificate. There were some issues going on in the middle of the course. I didn't want to do it, or I really dreaded doing that monthly project. But I persevered and I got my certificate. And thanks to my sewing experience, I got to go to the college that I went to now.
Right. And that's not all, right? We have other countries that you went to as well, based on what I understand.
Oh, okay. Because I went to such a nice college, and also thanks to my scholarship, I got a scholarship for Sunway College Fashion Design Technology. It's a diploma. So because I had this opportunity to study there, I've been able to travel more in these past 2 years. I've been to Kuching to learn about their weaving techniques, how they make their fabrics, different types of songket. I've been to London twice
Wow.
to attend Graduate Fashion Week, both as an attendee and also a participant in my second year. I also was able to go to Guangzhou in China to visit and source materials for our FYP for that seven look collection. Yeah, so I've been to 4 places by plane in the past 2 years, which is insane.
How has that contributed
Yeah.
contributed to your designing, your inspiration? How has that changed?
Well, my experience to Guangzhou really opened my eye. There is nothing that you cannot do because in China they have every single type of fabric you want, anything that you imagine they have. So it just really opened up the world of endless possibilities for me in designing and material sourcing. As for London, it really taught me to just be brave. As outlandish as dramatic my designs were, nothing compared to London because over there they really push your deepest creativity. I think that we should also have that mentality here because when Asian country, Asians are known to be practical. We are known to be like, do the stuff that earns you money, like do the stuff that people will wear. Like if you do a huge jacket with like a train, who's gonna wear it? That type of mentality. I think it's also important to learn from other countries, not just saying that, oh, this country does this country does that, but our country is the best. That's not true. You have no idea what other countries, what even other schools are doing. You just have to open up your world. Traveling really helps with designing. It gives me an adrenaline rush. It makes me excited to design more and work even harder for the life I want. Just having the experience of
So,
traveling as well is like a taste of what you can get in the future if you work hard enough. So yeah.
so how has that trip to Guangzhou or to London influenced your design? Or what changed when you go to London? Was there like a change in terms of thinking of what fashion could be?
I think traveling to these places really just gave me how would I say this? I think traveling to these places has allowed me to experiment more in fabric manipulation or experimenting in designs, colors, even textile, like what types of fabric to use that you wouldn't normally use. Yeah, it just made me more experimental in what I produce. From traveling to these places, I definitely got a sense of there has been a change in my designs throughout the years before and after traveling to these places. And I think it became more refined as well. My designs became clearer and it spoke to me more. Before I traveled, the designs would be very much it's what I expected myself to make. But after traveling to these places, I found myself sometimes producing stuff that I am shocked about. I cannot believe that I made this. Yeah. And that's been like really good growth so far. So hoping to travel more,
I'm sure you will.
Nice.
manifesting.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
So, Sebastian, we spoke quite a bit about your journey so far, right? We spoke about 11 p.m. We spoke about your discovery of self, building your chosen family, going into college, going to Guangzhou, going to London twice, going to Kuching as well. So, what an exciting journey it has been, yeah, for the last like 5 to 7 years. A lot of the people that are listening to this podcast are young people who may also be finding themselves. Some of them may not be as lucky as you, where you found it just like you're lucky, right? To
Yeah.
find it. Some people are in the
At
process.
such young age, you
Yeah.
already know.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then to have the world open up for you, wow, that's amazing, right? Not many people could enjoy the same opportunities. So if you were to give them some advice, right? What advice would you give to the listeners?
For me, I'd probably say network, meet people, meet a lot of people, meet people from different schools, what's the word? Different states, different countries, even make friends abroad. You never know, you might be at the right place at the right time, which often happens to me. Plan for your future, but don't go exactly in the sense that if it doesn't go well, or if it doesn't go accordingly, pivot. there's always another door that is opening for you. And also know what you want to do in the future. You're never too young to start discovering your passion. I know a lot of people in high school, they have no idea what they want to do in the future. And I have met friends that till this day, when they finish their degree, their diploma, they are still clueless of what they want to do because they don't have the passion for work. You have to have passion for working. You have to love your job if you want a happy life, I guess. Because most of the time we spend as an adult is working. So be happy with what you do. Be happy with your job, with your accomplishments. Network is important. I mean, the reason I got to attend KL Fashion Week this year was because I happened to have a lecturer that uh taught a student who is now a designer. The company is called Ghost Boy. Yeah, my lecturer taught the designer when he was still in college, and she now teaches me. So she just said, they're looking for interns. Do you want to try this out? And magic happens. Miracles do exist. I made a lot of connections there in KL Fashion Week. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I heard of the word networking only when I was like 20 plus, like 35. So I'm like
Correct.
really late to the game.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think like you actually
Also,
find a lot, you actually learn a lot of things that we learn at a very young age.
yeah.
yeah, and I think it's because of my parents as well. They really are like wise owls. They
You
have a
focus on
lot
the
of
word
advice.
wise.
They understand that they didn't have so many opportunities when they were my age, or no one was around to give important advice, important life lessons that you had to know before going into the industry. All they had was this trial and error. They hit a wall and they figure it out. So they
Yeah.
push a lot of their life experiences, their life lessons onto me since I was a child. And I think it made me a more practical. No, it made me a wiser person.
Another
Yeah.
wise owl.
Yeah, I am turning into a wise owl.
What was the biggest, most important piece of wisdom that they imparted to you?
There's a lot. The most important would probably be, but I can't think of any right now.
The
Most
one
important
that
one.
made the most, I guess, most sense. It stayed with you no matter, yeah, or impact. It stayed with you no matter where you go. Yeah,
Be passionate about the things that you are doing. Because if there's no passion, you won't work hard for it. You
yeah,
will just do it and just leave it. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I always give this advice to my juniors, people around me, people who come to my college for open day asking about the fashion course. I always just tell them, you have to be passionate about it. You have to be passionate about fashion. Have the passion for fashion and you will last in this industry.
Mm.
If not, you will just literally suffer. You will want to die. I'm not kidding. All the burns, all the cuts, all the poking of needles, you will have to love what you do to endure it and be better in it.
Do you
Have you
think that? Yeah, go for it, Nancy.
okay? Have you encountered moments where you felt, oh, this is so overwhelming, or I'm bored, or I'm uninspired? Have you ever experienced that before? And if you have, then what do you do about it?
I've had the most amount of breakdowns when I was in college, like studying for fashion. I've had multiple burnouts, which happen almost every semester. I've had 6 semesters so far. Yeah, the whole course is a 6 semesters. Every single time it is final season, I always get burned out. I always get frustrated. I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to quit. But then I
And what
realized that
happened?
I can't quit because I don't know anything else. If I quit, I'll be like, homeless. Uh,
Homeless.
but in those moments, you just have to take a break, I guess, like take one day off or 2 days off if you're feeling adventurous. Your timing will be very tight, which I was stressed about. But what my therapist always says to me is that you have to let your body and your mind recharge for it to work harder and faster. You have to take that break. It's kind of like exercising. You have to let your body, you have to let your muscles repair itself before you can continue training. So In those times, I'll usually go out. I would probably go shopping, eat good food, even just going outside, taking a walk and coming back. It will make a difference. Sometimes if you're doing something and it doesn't go right multiple times, which happens to me so often, it really is just, you just have to take the day off. Just don't do it anymore. If it doesn't work for like 3 times, just stop.
Mm.
That's also the advice my dad gave me.
Mm.
If that thing that you're trying to do is not happening, just it's not your day. Just do something else or go home. Just go sleep. Yeah.
Nice.
So good.
So
So
we're
good.
coming to almost at the end of this podcast, right? Before we end, is there anything else you feel like you would really love to share?
When is this coming out?
Either late end of this month or next month.
Okay. Oh, it'll be kind of late. Okay, never mind. Follow my brand PM on Instagram. The name is official_11 PM. We have just released, well, by the time this comes out, we've already released our knockout tank that comes in size S and M.
Okay.
You can DM us for more information. It's a really nice top that you can wear multiple ways. Like
Wow.
it's a tank top with a hood, but you can switch it up.
I
Follow
saw that
me on
in your
Xiaohongshu
Instagram.
at 10%, 10%. Uh, what else? Follow me on my TikTok, my Instagram. My username is _11 Sebas, SEBAS 11 _. I'm doing more promotional content of, my current projects that is Nights of Fright 11 and more to come, which will include 11 PM as well. What else? I think I've covered it all. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the final segment of the podcast is what we call a lightning round. This means, right, we'll ask a question and then whatever that comes to your mind first, that's the answer. Keep it short, keep it spicy, I guess. Right, well, whatever is true to you. All right, so there are, I think, about like 3 or 4 questions. So the first question is, what is one book, podcast, or resource that has shaped the way you think about your work?
There's this YouTube channel called, the name is Zoe Hong. Is this Chinese woman who is a fashion lecturer and she's also a fashion designer, I think. She has a lot of great advice for anyone who wants to do fashion. You can watch her videos, learn a lot before in university or college in fashion. Watch her videos, learn a lot first before you actually step foot in starting in this industry.
Nice. And if you had to describe your personal journey so far in 3 words, right? What would these 3 words be and why?
Blessed,
Okay. Blessed. Nice.
hard work, and passion.
Blessed, hard work, passion. Right. Any explanation as to why you chose these 3 words?
Well, blessed is like kind of self-explanatory. I've been quite fortunate in, this whole thing, this whole journey. It has its ups and downs, but every single down will only allow you to rise. Like when you hit rock
Wow.
bottom, you can only go up.
So
Nice.
wise, man.
Right.
Second, yeah, I'm a wise owl.
Yes.
The second is hard work. You have to work hard. Yeah. Work hard and have passion. It kind of goes hand in hand with each other.
Yeah. Awesome. And the last question, if you were to set aside fashion design, right, and try any other job for one day, what would that be?
Can I just say the job I have now, being a scare actor? It's really fun.
Okay. Tell us more.
Yeah. I'm very good at scaring people.
Awesome.
Can I
Okay,
ask one more question?
last one to close it all. Yeah, go for it.
This is for my students, okay? So, like, if let's say maybe people or students are thinking the path that you've taken to be a fashion designer, right? What are some of the skills that they should start honing or they should have or they should learn to have?
I think learn to process your thoughts in the sense that you have an image in your brain. Learn how to transfer that image into something feasible. Like, let's say a drawing or a collage or a video, ever a way that you can think of to make it a feasible thing that you can share with people, do it. Learn that skill. Learn to think critically. Like, the usual questions like how, what, when, where, who, like how to make this idea special. How do I expand from it? What do I make this with? Where would I get these materials from? Or if I can't get these materials, how am I able to, pivot or do it myself? Expand your thinking. Look at life differently. Something as mundane as a roll of tissue paper can give you a lot of ideas if you just think, if you just be creative. All those hands-on skills you can learn along the way. It's not that hard to pick up a sewing machine. Like, it's not that hard to learn the sewing skills. The hardest thing would probably be thinking.
Hmm.
Yeah, you have to change how you think. You have to reformat your brain.
Mm.
It's something that I'm still learning. You're never finished with learning
We
something.
are learning too.
Yeah, true. Awesome. Any last things that we want to share before we wrap up the session?
I just want to wish everyone who is, finding what they want to do, looking for their life purpose or their passions. Good luck in your journey. Hoping that you will be as fortunate as I am. Yeah. And when you will hit a wall, don't give up. If you hit a wall, just turn. Nothing is fixed until it happens. Even if it happens, you can still change it. It is your life. Just have courage in conquering your life.
Courage. Very nice. And with
Uh,
that,
yeah.
thank you very much, Sebastian.
Yes, thank you guys for having me. I've had a great time talking a lot, giving advice. Hopefully I help the young people these days. God, I feel so
Yes.
old.
I'm sure you will. I'm
Hello.
sure you will.
You're not even 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, you speak like a very, very mature person.
I speak like
Yeah, just like
yeah.
a wise owl.
Yes, I learned from my parents.
And also, I'm pretty sure there were many challenging times in your life, right, where you had to reflect, right, and guide yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess that's
Yeah.
how you get the maturity and the wisdom.
Yeah. Well, life throws unexpected things to you, and you just have to when life give you bitter lemons, what do? I have no idea. I'm
You
not
make
a chef.
cocktail.
You start making gowns and
Yes.
dresses.
Yes.
Out of bitter
When life
lemons.
gives you bitter
Wow.
lemons, you use the skin to make fabric.
Nice.
See?
Nice.
I'm catching up. I'm
Very
catching up.
nice. Awesome. With that, thank you so much. And we can call it a session.
Yay!
Alright.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sebastian.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to the PivotLab Podcast. We hope today's story gave you both inspiration and insight, something you can carry into your own next move. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify, and follow us on Instagram and Substack for the latest episodes, content, and tools to help you design what's next. And if you know someone who could benefit from this, share the love. Most importantly, let's stay connected. We've got more stories, strategies, and blueprints coming your way. Until next time, keep going. Your next chapter is already unfolding.